So I'm here with Marianne O'Hagan, and Marianne O'Hagan is a fantastic astrologer who I've had the great pleasure of knowing professionally and personally for, gosh, how long now, Marianne?
Well, it must be at least 15 years.
She says years.
Yes. And while I've got younger, you've got older.
Yeah, so I've always appreciated Marianne's wisdom, her sense of humour, and obviously her great talent with astrology. So, Marianne, tell me a little bit about how you became an astrologer.
The reason I became an astrologer was because I was born a Roman Catholic and during that period of time I found a few little loopholes in the religion as I saw it when I was 7 years old. I was talking to my mother about Hail Mary. It's a prayer where the Virgin Mary was God's mother, and I couldn't get that in my head. And my mother read out her horoscope, and I said, Mum, what's a horoscope? And she said, well, we're all born under a certain star. And she said, and whatever star you're born under is what is going to happen to you today. It's forecasts, astrological forecasts. And with that I was sold because I felt it was better than being a Catholic.
Because why? What does astrology give you? And what does it give other people? So firstly, what did it give you back then when you...
I suddenly felt I was one with everybody. We all had a star, and I was included. I wasn't a Catholic who was condemning those that went to the Anglican Church or condemning those that went to the Church of England. They'd all go to hell and I was okay. But suddenly I was a star, and so was everybody else. We were all born under stars. It was a unifying energy.
It's lovely. So it brings everyone together, and it promotes, we were talking earlier about the great need of our time, which is for harmony and peace.
Yes.
So
yes.
How does astrology help?
And I think also with the planets in the solar system, that indeed all have a different character, and the energies that you're born under at the time, date and place of your birth, you have what we call a horoscope. And so you've got patterning of electromagnetic fields under which you're born, and as the planets in the solar system move round, they energize your pattern under which you were born, your electromagnetic fields, and they do indeed create an energy which guides you through life, and it's highly forecastable, easily forecastable, as to what you will feel at any particular time. So it is actually, well, if you like, God's tapestry across the skies, and we're all linked to it, all of us, and there isn't any judgment on that one. It is our life path, and nothing can change it, not religion, because we're all the same. We come under the same essence.
I like that, God's tapestry under the stars.
Yeah.
So how specific, can you give me, you said recently a lot of people have been coming to you with anxiety, and I guess a lot of people come to you looking for hope. How can astrology help people?
Astrology helps people by showing the planet Saturn, which is your challenge, and we have the sun, which is your life path. We have the moon, which is your natural emotional response to anything that happens outside stimuli. And we have Jupiter, which is the great benefic. So in a way, there's equality there, because you've got a life path, you instinctively react, which you have no control over your emotions, you just do react. You have the Saturn, which is going to challenge you all the time, and you have Jupiter, which is going to bring you a bit of wisdom and good fortune. And with these planets, you find in the end that you look at these planets primarily, and you see the path, and you see this person as they see you today has Saturn in square. That's depressing. That can be very self-doubting, lacking confidence, energy, even depression, anxiety. You see it and you think, ooh, and there's nothing relieving this. And they are, perhaps they're, say, a Librian, okay, and they want peace, harmony, balance. They're trying to balance everything, but they're all of a sudden gripped in the Saturn. And then you look okay, for 3 months they might take Saturn on, and you see it. And you see this is really, unbalancing them, but you draw in Jupiter, or you can draw in any other planet that's coming in good aspect, and you actually emphasize that over the Saturn. Feel it, they've got that bit in them, but you've got to emphasize in them that they have got this energy, it is there. Lift them through the Saturn and say, don't you worry, don't you get depressed, you get dictatorial, because it's a passing energy. It's going to remain. That gives them the hope, and it works, because astrology works.
So I like the emphasis on, as you're saying, I guess you could think of it like an umbrella. You've got this umbrella blocking all the sun, all the positive energy, but it's only going to be there for a little short time. It's a passing energy, and that if people learn the lesson of that energy, which is not to submit to the lower energies of depression and despondency, but to look for the light, which are the other aspects that are sure as eggs, sure as day becomes night and night becomes day, are going to come.
That's right, and I think the biggest one is when we go through that dark tunnel, Saturn can take us through so well, but when we go through the dark tunnel, that time in the dark tunnel is an eternity. In fact, it's just time, and it's not an eternity. It's just that when you're going through it, you wonder if you can ever get out of it, because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But if you've got somebody saying to you, and even putting a time on it, a date on it, by the such and such a date, you won't feel this energy anymore. It'll change. People do. They focus on that date and they think, I'll get through. You actually give that to them, saying, you can get through that. That's not a long time.
Yeah, so you help them to disempower the negative energy, but empower their own capacity to ride the waves. Yeah, so astrology gives people predictable hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think actually, you've got this one, Cassandra. I think everybody in the world needs hope. And when you go through that dark tunnel, Saturn, you lose hope. You need somebody to keep saying, it's okay. We've all been in that dark tunnel, and we all came out the other end.
It's just Saturn.
It really is a very, very practical tool. I think that in areas of, I'm a Taurian, so I'm quite materialistic, and I make no bones about it. And yet I've also got Neptune in the first house, so I'm very spiritual. So that's a nice patterning. But I believe really that everything in the end is me being materialistic. I have material values. Me being spiritual, I have spiritual values. When these two planets of mine, which is Saturn and Neptune, go out of kilter, I to some degree lose my spirituality, but I know, because I'm old, I'm an old age pensioner, but I know that it's still in me.
You're a wise woman.
Thank you, Cassandra. I know, though, that it still resides in me, and that I can never lose it, and if you have a pattern, which you have, I have, an astrological pattern of, an electromagnetic field under which you use, it's a light. You're an actual walking light. The electromagnetic field of Cassandra is a light, it's an aura. And these planets are affecting it. You will never not be that electrical magnetic field. It's just the planets might put out one or two of the lights and then make them bright and shining. You know what? You can achieve everything. And if you've got a bad aspect and you're strong enough and you really push through it, like Mars, say for instance Mars blocking Saturn can take all of your energy away, and you can sit and do that. Well, if you push through that and you work twice as hard, you know what? You get more done. Your achievements are so much greater. But what I'm really trying to say is that, and you've said it too, astrology makes sense out of life. Astrology makes sense out of your life path. Your life path is your path. It can't be changed, but you grow. You grow into a much wiser human being because of it. A stronger human being. And if you have guidance on the way, from astrology, it makes you understand the vastness of the universe. Yeah. And in the end, it takes you away from judgment into the essence. We're all one.
That's lovely. So beautifully said. So where can people find you?
Well, actually, I have a website. It's www.marianneohagan.com.nz.
And Marianne O'Hagan, M-A, do you want to spell it out for people?
MarianneO'Hagan.com.nz.
That's beautiful. Thank you, and I look forward to connecting again.
Thank you, Cassandra, and it was lovely spending time with you in this interview.